The drug problem in Rotterdam continues to worsen. Even though the government seems to be aware of the heavy drug use in the city, the clubs do not provide the necessary aid, which can result in drug-related deaths. Dehydration is common amongst clubgoers, especially those who are under the influence of amphetamines. Thus, free water in clubs would limit the number of overdoses. Rotterdam is a modern student city with many bars and clubs and an outrageous rave scene. Since 2005, more than 400 drug-related deaths have been reported in Rotterdam alone. This statistic shows the seriousness of the issue in the city. The Dutch drug policy states that one of the major objectives is to reduce the harm to users. Consequently, our claim to prevent dehydration should be in the government's interest. Compared to other countries in Europe, the Netherlands takes a liberal standpoint when drugs and their usage come up for debate. Coffee shops can be found all over the country, as weed is legal in the Netherlands. Activities such as rolling a joint and smoking up are normal. Therefore, the sale of cannabis is largely regulated through coffee shops in the Netherlands. Other European countries claim that weed is a gateway drug, as it already runs under the label of being a drug. Thus, it is argued that the next step after smoking weed is to take ecstasy or speed. These are amphetamines that are easily accessible in the Netherlands, since they are produced in the country. Those drugs can be life-threatening, especially when those who use them are not educated about their consequences or no prevention of the possible harm is offered. Ravers rely heavily on the use of amphetamines for their clubbing experience. These drugs such as MDMA, ecstasy and speed interfere with the serotonin and dopamine levels in the brain. This causes the user to feel elation and full of energy. The body temperature rises due to the drug consumption, which is important to consider when dancing for hours to techno music in a club. This phenomena leads to dehydration, and water is urgently needed. To dig deeper into the medical importance of water during drug consumption, we visited the Erasmus Medical Center. Dr. Koch of the clinical pharmacy invited us to the laboratory to discuss the importance of water when under the influence.
Patients go out and they go clubbing and they use drugs like cocaine or amphetamines. They can cause patients get active and patients really want to be physical active, and that causes that you lose a lot of water, and if you lose a lot of water you can be dehydrated, and that can cause all kinds of clinical effects, which you have to go to this to the intensive care or to the emergency ward. And I think it's very important to drink enough water or to drink enough that you have less side effects of the drugs you take when you go out.
Metin Venema knows the scene better than any other DJ in Rotterdam, offering an inside perspective on the topic and advice from his own experiences.
I'm Metin. I organize parties in Rotterdam. I DJ as well, and I've been active and partying in the scene for about 5 years now, I think. Free water would be a good addition. They don't do it, or they don't allow just free drinking from the toilets because of economical stance. I think you just have to buy something in order to survive, because you really need water in clubs. I've seen a lot go down in there's a lot of different kind of clubs, and I've seen plenty of things happen with people under influence.
I'd say it seems strange that people don't get water. In England you don't get. It seems like something that's a human right to have water.
The water issue in Rotterdam and Holland as well is not good, and I think the government should.
We need to do something about this issue.
Well, it's hard to say, because it's always it's always different factors, of course, because if they wouldn't have, well, it's not dehydration itself that's alone that's the problem, but it's definitely a big factor, because a lot of people don't think about it, especially when they're on drugs or on alcohol. They don't really think about dehydration. But it definitely could make a big difference, yeah.
Perron is the only club in Rotterdam that actually allows customers to fill up their glasses with water. However, a fee of 50 cents for every bathroom visit or €2 for the whole night needs to be paid at the entrance. These are regular prices for using the toilets in clubs throughout the city. Often a variety of sweets and things to freshen up are offered by the bathroom assistant. However, water is not one of these.
I think it's weird that tap water isn't free, especially on like big parties where people use lots of alcohol and lots of drugs. I think it's important, and also for the safety of the people that are there, they need to be hydrated, and especially when they use drugs or when they use alcohol, people need water.
The specialists and people in the scene are in favor of the push for free water in clubs, which makes it clear that actions must be taken. Insights of the toxicologist Dr. Koch break down the importance of water during drug consumption. Her knowledge has led to the understanding of how drugs are used and what the dangerous aftermath may be when the body does not stay hydrated. Ravers fully agree on the claim that water should be a free provision. Some even say that it goes against human rights to deny access to it. Rotterdam continues to change and grow, but unfortunately, the drug culture still develops in the shadows of this port city. This issue must not be denied, and the safety of the young ravers in the scene should be taken seriously.